Xbox On. Welcome to Xbox On, a podcast with one host about one console, Xbox. I'm said host Jesse DeRosa, and on today's episode, we'll talk about the latest Xbox news for the week of October 30th, 2025, including Halo Combat Evolved is being made yet again, or remade yet again, and this time it's coming to PlayStation. EA has surprise launched a Battle Royale mode for Battlefield 6. Xbox and Microsoft executives make excuses for why Xbox is competing so poorly in the market, and more. This week in Xbox history, in the year 2002, 23 years ago, Age of Mythology was released for Windows PC. That's all I had to say about that. Cargo Runner UK writes in and says, "Congratulations, Cronky. Now it's your turn, Jesse. Cronky Jr. will need a cool cousin to play games with." That is, of course, in relation to last week when we mentioned the great news that Cronky and Mrs. Cronky had a Cronky Jr. About 2 weeks ago almost at this point. So yeah, I got a new little nephew. Cronky's got his first son, his first child, and Cargo Runner. No, no, there will be no Xbox On offspring because no, I have plenty of siblings with plenty of nephews and nieces. Mom and dad don't need another grandkid. This is not happening. But I have told my girlfriend we had the one cat and I didn't want another pet. I was happy with the one cat. But she wore me down and said, we got to get a second cat so the first cat isn't so lonely. And then there's something about the second cat that made me think, you know what? Having two cats makes me want three cats way more than having one cat makes me want two cats. So I would like to get a third cat at some point, but now she's all anti-third cat. So that's the impasse we're at. So that is the closest we're going to get to an Xbox On baby. But cat, maybe more cats, possible. Huge possibility. Guys, welcome to Xbox On. Let's talk about the new games releasing of the week because this is one of the biggest ones of the year for Xbox because Outer Worlds 2, as the time you're listening to this show, is officially out. It's now available on your Xbox Series console, your PC, and of course, PlayStation 5. It's reviewing quite well. It's getting pretty decent reviews. I think better than Outer Worlds 1 got, so good to see that where Avowed was like, oh, there's a really decent game here, but a couple issues, glaring issues with this game. Obsidian, their other major release of the year, was able to kind of come out the gates swinging a little harder, being a little bit more of a heavy hitter. Of course, a follow-up to Outer Worlds, they have a lot of good stuff they can do to build off of the awesome foundation of Outer Worlds 1. So it should be obviously the case that Outer Worlds 2 is better, but that's not always true in games. So I take this as a win. This is a frustrating one because I want to play Outer Worlds 2. I'm excited for this game. I liked Outer Worlds 1, but I am really satisfied and content playing Battlefield 6 right now. And in a few weeks, I'm going to be really excited to play Black Ops 7. So Ninja Gaiden 4, Outer Worlds 2, while I want to play these games, Keeper, 3 games that I really want to play right now, I just I don't have the time because, well, it's not even that. It's not that I don't have the time. It's like I'm just satisfied with the other games I'm playing right now. It's like, stop pressuring me to move on to the next thing when I'm just happy doing what I'm doing. So that's a little bit of a conundrum, but it's also something I'm trying to enjoy rather than perceive as something stressful. I'm trying to enjoy it because now that I'm just a Game Pass standard subscriber, or what is it called? Essentials. Now that I just have basic Game Pass, I don't have access to the games, the day one games. I'm trying to enjoy it. I'm trying to be like, yeah, Outer Worlds 2 will be available when I'm ready to play it. It'll probably be patched and have DLC and be cheaper by that point. Who knows? Maybe I'll play it sooner. I don't know. But it will be there when I'm ready for it. I don't need to feel pressured. There's no reason to stop everything and get it now. If I'm having fun playing Battlefield 6, I'll just keep doing that. So that's how I'm trying to take it because, it's arbitrary to put weird pressures and expectations on yourself to play video games. It should be a hobby, not a job. The other thing that is worth mentioning here is, of course, that Arc Raiders is out as of the day this podcast goes live, of course, on same platforms, Xbox Series consoles, PC, and PlayStation. Now, this game is very notable. It's by the people that made the Finals, which is a new team that is basically a spin-off, a bunch of ex-Battlefield people, a bunch of ex-DICE developers. Arc Raiders is that new third-person extraction shooter multiplayer live service game that is, I think it's $40 or $50. It's not free to play, but it's been getting lots and lots of buzz all year. People have been really excited about this game, and it's finally here. So we'll see if people are going to put their money where their mouth is and support this product because it's coming out right smack dab in between Battlefield and Call of Duty. So it's quite a ballsy move. They're kind of Titanfalling themselves here, which is funny because the people that worked on this game were at Battlefield Studios or DICE in 2016 when they were doing that to Titanfall 2. So interesting to see Arc Raiders get this treatment, seemingly voluntarily from the people who did this to Titanfall 2 in the first place. But anyway, Arc Raiders, I'm not personally interested in it. I keep trying to get into it because everyone always talks so favorably about it. This is one of those games where like I hear normies that don't care about games even being like, oh man, that Arc Raiders game looks really cool. I'm like, I don't know what it is about this game that's just kind of catching the mainstream waves right now. I want to like it. It doesn't look bad by any means. It does look cool, but like whenever I see the trailers and stuff for it, I'm just like, yeah, this looks cool, but like I'm satisfied with Battlefield. I don't need this. So I don't know. Not that it's necessarily one-to-one the same thing, but I know a lot of people are super excited about this game, and it's probably going to do pretty well. So we'll keep an eye out on this. Who knows what this evolves into? Maybe this is the next hottest game out there. I don't fucking know. But between the two, I'm more interested in Outer Worlds 2, but definitely some good eating for those looking for a new video game to pick up this week. You guys, let's put a pin in it there and just hop straight into the news, because I'll be completely honest with you. It's really late, and I've just been having a crazy week with work, so I don't have too much time to record tonight, but we do have some really important news to get to, so I will try to not speed through it, but, be a little more succinct with my time in order to effectively get everything in a decent time frame. So anyway, on to news. Boop, Xbox down. Cool. Okay. Confirmed. Halo is getting a campaign remaster, and it's coming to PlayStation 5. From VGC, the Halo series is coming to PlayStation for the first time. Halo Campaign Evolved has been announced for Xbox Series consoles, PC, and PlayStation 5. Halo Campaign Evolved is a full remake of the campaign portion of the series' first game, Halo Combat Evolved. While no specific release date was announced yet, Microsoft has confirmed that the game will launch next year in 2026. The game will feature 4-player co-op and a completely rebuilt visuals. The game has been developed using Unreal Engine 5. Quote, this fully rebuilt campaign will introduce remastered 4K visuals, beloved Halo weapons and vehicles, plus brand new story content, according to Xbox Wire. The trailer has been released. There's also a 13-minute gameplay video you can see. They say, quote, this is executive producer Damon Kahn. We wanted to start with the beginning where all of it started, the original campaign that defined Halo. Starting with it here means that people will have who have never played the game before will be able to understand the story from the very beginning and can help us chart the course forward with the new Halo stories. I love this. They're basically saying people can start here and work all their way up to Halo Infinite, where we botched the story by leaving a huge fucking gap in between Halos 5 and Infinite. And if you want to figure out what the fuck happens, maybe read a book or something. Fuck you. They say focusing on the campaign experience means we can concentrate fully on really capturing the atmosphere, tone, and emotional impact of what made the first game so special. Tweaks to certain levels will be made to enhance the existing experience, according to the developers. And I've heard rumors and things that point to they're going to make the library less of a redundant, boring, overly bloated level, which would be great because that is a notorious level in Halo. They say, we learned from Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, which was released in, 2011, that there was still an appetite for things like better wayfinding, navigation, diversity, and enemy encounters, said creative director Matt Schlager. In the library specifically, here they go, which features several flood encounters, we wanted to reevaluate the pacing and enhance the environmental storytelling. We've added new lines to Guilty Spark, which guide players through the levels, and there's new dialogue that gives more insight into the narrative as it plays out. We're not changing its stories. It's about refining and adding context to the moments and other levels like it, so players can stay on track. The Halo series will be released for PlayStation consoles going forward. Far beyond Friday's announcement of Campaign Evolved, Xbox confirmed this news. Speaking in an announcement stream in which Halo Studios officially revealed the remake of the game for PlayStation as a platform, community director Brian Gerard appeared wearing a PlayStation t-shirt at the event, confirming that the studio's intentions for this series were to remain multi-platform. Quote, it's a huge deal. It's a long time coming, said the Halo coming to PlayStation consoles. We're just super excited to be able to welcome even more players into the franchise that we love, to fall in love with the Halo the same way we all did 24 years ago. As a community guy, I think of Halo, the Halo community is super excited to welcome in their friends as well. It's just going to mean more Halo for everyone. It's really a new era. Halo is on PlayStation going forward, starting with Campaign Evolved. So it's super important. Halo is on PlayStation going forward. So it doesn't mean anything about Master Chief Collection or Halo Infinite coming to PlayStation, but it means if there's a Halo game that is announced and revealed and created moving forward, expect it to come to PlayStation. This is not like a one for you, one for me, come to Xbox because we're going to tease you with this one and make that one exclusive. This is like Halo going forward is on PlayStation, period. Damon Kahn, Halo Studios executive producer, also called Halo coming to PlayStation an incredible opportunity. He says, what we want is for as many fans and players as to be able to play the game as possible. To be on the Series X and S and PC, Steam, and PlayStation all at one time is a heck of a way to kick off the 25th anniversary. So you can expect this to be a day-and-date launch. This is not a timed exclusive for Xbox. This is just a day-and-date launch, which is just so confusing as Xbox continues to put some games out exclusively on Xbox, some games as timed exclusives, some games as day-and-date full launches on all platforms. This is just continuing to confuse things as Xbox loves to do. Let's read a comment here, starting off with Mr. Maug, who says, I was so disappointed by the gameplay. It does not look like Halo. Let's start off with this one. I agree. To me, it looks like Unreal Engine 5. It has that Unreal Engine look and feel that I don't know quite how to put my finger on it, but it doesn't, Halo looks like Halo. Even Halo 5 and Halo, all the different Halo games, they all look like Halo when they're running in a way that I can't quite put my finger on, but you see it and it's like, yeah, that's Halo. Even if the art style has changed, it looks like Halo. But when you see Halo running on Unreal Engine 5, it's just like, I don't know, metals just have that weird sheen. It looks like an Unreal Engine tech demo. Now, it mostly looks like Halo. I'll give it that. It's not like, oh, this doesn't look like Halo. It's just, it looks kind of off. There's something kind of uncanny valley about seeing Halo running in Unreal Engine, and it's just, I'll just say it's disappointing to see. I mean, I thought it was cool that Halo had its own engine and that these games had their own unique look and feel, and I feel like they're giving a little bit of that away by just going to some like generic default Unreal Engine type model. I understand the benefits of it for making development of these games a little more streamlined and accessible, but nonetheless, it just feels like the end of an era and a part of the culture is dying by just like defaulting to Unreal Engine instead of working on that brand new engine you just built called Slipstream that you made one game with and then gave up on immediately like 7 seconds after it came out. So that was fucking sick. I love that. So I don't know. It doesn't look quite right to me either. I agree with you, Mr. Maug. But what are you going to do? We have no control over anything here. However, Cronky writes in and says, Halo campaign evolved. I'm so tired of remakes and remasters. This one was only ever supposed to be a thing for games that are relatively inaccessible. This idea. Combat Evolved is incredibly accessible. Go make something new, lazy buttholes. Also, no multiplayer. Campaign only means it'll be good for like 6 or 8 hours. I kind of expect a bit more from a AAA title these days. You also then write in and say, I wasn't mean enough in my original comment about Halo Remake, so let me try again. This is just the Halo 1 campaign remade to look and feel like Infinite. Not even a competitive multiplayer. This is lazy and stupid. I love that they are trying to sell skulls off as a reason to buy the game or play it endlessly. The game will bomb, and then the takeaway will be that we don't want Halo, when obviously the reality is that this game is an insult. I'm pretty mad, to be honest. This jeopardizes the whole franchise since it's in such a fragile state right now. Shame on Halo Studios for this slop. I don't know that I would go that far, that I feel to that extent how you feel, but I do agree with a lot of your sentiment and a lot of what you're getting at, which is, I'll start with the first comment at the top of what you say, because it kind of gets the crux of where I'm at with it. It's like, I'm tired of remakes and remasters. This was only ever supposed to be a thing for games that are relatively inaccessible. Combat Evolved is incredibly accessible. Go make something new, you lazy buttholes. That right there, that is where I'm like 100% in agreement with you, Cronky, which is that, like, listen, I get why Nintendo, above all, does remakes and remasters. The N64 is a console that every single male from my generation claims they owned and grew up on and adore, despite the fact that the Nintendo 64 sold like 25 million units. The Nintendo 64 was a very underwhelming, underperforming mess of a console. It did not do very well. However, the Nintendo 64 did produce some of the most iconic and beloved games of all time, like Legend of Zelda, not Twilight Princess, Ocarina of Time, and Mario 64, and Super Smash Bros. So the idea of a company like Nintendo taking a game like Super Mario 64 that's locked on a console that sold very poorly and had very low install base, and bringing it forward to modern Nintendo consoles where people can play them, especially considering that Nintendo consoles always have weird hardware limitations or gimmicks or interesting controller inputs that make the games kind of inaccessible when future generations come out. I go, hey, you're bringing Mario 64 into the modern generation. You can play on the Nintendo DS, or in today's world, now you can play on the Nintendo Switch. I think that is a great idea. That makes sense. I love the idea of taking games like that and making them accessible for current generations. But Cronky, I am right there with you when it comes to stuff like this. Halo Combat Evolved was released for the Xbox, which the Xbox 360 is backwards compatible with. And then the Xbox 360 got an Xbox Live Arcade port of this game. And then the Xbox 360 got a visual overhauled remastered version of this in 2011 called the Combat Evolved Anniversary Edition. And then that version and the original version were backwards compatible with the Xbox 360 and the Xbox One. Then in the Xbox One generation, they took that Anniversary Edition and put it in the Master Chief Collection, which is a collection of games that make Halo 1 infinitely accessible and replayable on Xbox Series consoles, Xbox One consoles, and PC. So you have to stop and ask yourself, why the fuck do we need yet another port remaster accessible version of Halo Combat Evolved when we've already been able to play this on every fucking Xbox console ever? In fact, this will mark that officially every Xbox console has had a release of Combat Evolved. The original Xbox had the original version. The 360 had the Xbox Live Arcade and the Anniversary Edition. The Xbox One had the Master Chief Collection. And now the Xbox Series S and X will have Campaign Evolved. We do not need Combat Evolved every fucking generation. And now that Xbox is working on a new generation's PC hybrid console, can we expect in another 5 to 10 years to get another Halo Combat Evolved remaster? I think it's lazy. I think it's uninspired. I think it's stupid. I think the reason we're getting this game truly is twofold. I think it's one, 343, now Halo Studios, lost pretty much all of its talent. And the combination of losing your talent and then switching to a new engine meant we got to kind of get our feet wet as we rebuild this team and figure out the future of this franchise. And a great way to test the new technology, test the new engine, get the new team together, figure out how we work together, figure out what we want to do. A great way to do that is to be like, let's make some kind of project. It's like if you and 3 friends want to start a band, maybe before you write your own song, you're going to be like, let's do a cover. Let's do a shitty Blink-182 cover song. And then we'll get a feel for what it's like to play music together. And then we'll use that as a way to launch off and write our own music. That's kind of what this feels like. It's like the new Halo Studios is like, let's get together, let's do a Halo Combat Evolved remake together, let's fuck around at Unreal Engine 5, and maybe that will give us the kind of work culture and cohesion and skill to figure out, and inspiration to figure out what do we do after this. And that's what I think we're getting. They're just saying, hey, here's our little pet side project, Halo Campaign Evolved. Let's just fucking sell it to people for $60-$70. I'm assuming this will be a discounted title without multiplayer. That's just going to be $50 or $60. If it's $70, that's egregious as fuck. So that's the first thing. That's the first reason. I think the second reason why they're doing this is because this is your excuse to sell Halo on PlayStation and make a shit ton of money. If you just throw the Master Chief Collection on PlayStation, you're giving the whole thing at once. People only want Halos 1 through 3, ODST, and Reach. So if you throw that as a whole package on PlayStation in one drop for $60, you're done. Halo's on PlayStation. It's over. But if you do something like this and you make it long and drawn out and you do these remasters and you give all this bullshit excuse to resell every individual Halo game a la carte, they do a Halo 2 and a Halo 3 remaster, then yeah, you can milk this for all it's worth and get the PlayStation audience to buy every single Halo game at full price, a la carte, one after another after another. So I think those are the two reasons why this exists. I don't think this game exists because Xbox fans, in fact, I think much like that Gears of War thing that we just got, that was so clearly aimed at putting Gears of War on PlayStation. I feel like we're just kind of getting this shit because Xbox is so focused on being a third-party publisher and getting games on PlayStation that Xbox fans are just like, okay, I guess our new game is the millionth re-release of Halo 1. Sure. So that's my feelings on that. And then on a very personal level, here's my thing is I watched the 13-minute gameplay demo, and I'll be honest, it looks good. And I like Halo 1, and I will play this, and I am interested in it, and I am moderately excited because I love Halo, and I'm always looking forward to new Halo. They talk about how there's 3 missions that are being added to the game that take place before the events of Halo 1. I think that's cool. It sounds like they're going to make some kind of little mini campaign where you're Master Chief and you're playing with Sergeant Johnson, and it's about the events that bridge Halo Reach to Halo 1. So I think that sounds pretty fucking cool. You know, they get at the end of Halo Reach, they get Cortana into the Pillar of Autumn. Sergeant Johnson's in there, and then he's going to fucking with Master Chief, and there's going to be some some little interstitial story to stitch the two games together. I think that's cool. I look forward to that. I look forward to seeing how they tweak some of the levels. I look forward to seeing some of the changes to dialogue and just nods and enemy variety and weapons and vehicles that have been retooled. I feel like this will be the most fresh and new and interesting way to play Combat Evolved. But despite all that, and I do appreciate that, it's just that on a very personal level, Halo Combat Evolved has always been my least favorite Halo. Let's take all the side games, forget about like the mobile shooter games and like the Halo Wars games. If we're just talking about first-person shooter Halo games, my ranking in like a really rough, no particular order is like Halo 3, Halo 5, Halo 4, Halo Infinite, Halo 2, Halo ODST, Halo Reach, Halo 1. Something like that. I might retool it a little bit more if I sit down with it. But it's something like that. All I know is Halo 3 is always going to be my number one, and Halo Combat Evolved is always going to be dead last for me. It doesn't mean it's a bad game. Halo Combat Evolved is a great game, and obviously it's incredibly important. It's just that, like, I don't know, Halo 1 is a great game, but Halo 1 walked so Halo 2 and 3 could run kind of thing, you know? It's like, do we really need this game over and over and over again? Because when I go back and I want to replay a Halo game, I usually go back and replay Halo 3. I never go back and replay Combat Evolved. I only play Combat Evolved again when Xbox inevitably re-releases it and makes me play Combat Evolved again. Again, it's not that it's a bad game. It's just, I don't know, it's a little boring. It's a little slow. It's a little repetitive in places. It's a great foundation and a very important game that was then lapped many times over by its sequels, which is exactly what you should do. So I'm not trying to say I hate Combat Evolved or anything. I'm a huge Halo fan. I love all the games, but I think the way I put it to Cronky, we were talking about this the other day, is like, if Halo Combat Evolved was a one-and-done game, like it came out and then there was never another Halo game ever, and it was just this game that people remember. Oh, remember in the Xbox days, there was that game Halo Combat Evolved? Oh, that was a cool game. Yeah, I loved that game. That's how I would think of that game. I'd be like, that was a really cool game. It's too bad they never made a sequel. Anyway. But because we got Halo 2 and 3 and ODST and Reach, my perception and my feelings on Halo is like, I fucking love Halo. I want to get a Master Chief tattoos on my Master Cheeks. Or like, you know, like I fucking love Halo. Halo means a lot to me as a video game franchise. So it's just, I don't know. I just think it's important to note that it's like they're kind of doing a lazy thing. They're also kind of doing the worst Halo game. And it's just like, I don't know that this is what we really need. Like, you have Halo 5, which this past week just celebrated its 10-year anniversary. And the Halo, like, YouTube or the Halo Twitter and Threads accounts and stuff are like, oh, on this day in history, 10 years ago, Halo 5 came out. Shout out to Spartan Locke, Hunt the Truth, whatever. And it's like, I'm sitting there seeing these posts. I'm just like, wow, it's really been 10 years since you released the last Halo game that had like a chronological, cohesive story, and then you just fucking abandoned that story, let it fall off a fucking cliff, left it to die for 6 or 7 years, put out Halo Infinite that was completely unrelated, told a different story, and then abandoned that game's story, all for us to be here in 2025, 10 years later, working on what? A remake of Halo 1 for the 5th time? Like, what the fuck is this about, you know? It's like, where's our goddamn follow-up to Halo 5? What the fuck happened there, dude? What happens to Cortana? She becomes the bad guy. She takes control of the Guardians. I'm still waiting to find out what the fuck happened. You know, what's going to happen in Halo Infinite? Atriox is like nowhere to be found, even though it's insinuated he won and then we beat him somehow. It's like, what the fuck happened with Atriox? And then at the end of Halo Infinite, you introduce a new race of enemies, and then that just falls off a fucking cliff. And I'm supposed to do what? Wait 5 years so I can replay Halo 1 for the 5th time? This is fucking bullshit. Like, it was a little egregious with Gears of War where it's like, I'm sorry, guys, you've had like 5 or 6 years to play Gears of War 5. Someone very important dies at the end of Gears of War 5, and you have to pick and choose which one of these two very important characters dies. It's a player choice option. It's a fucking cop-out, and a lot of people are upset about how the game ends. And everyone's waiting for Gears of War 6 so we can figure out which one of those two deaths is canon, and we can finish the story that is on a fucking cliffhanger as we wait to find out more about Kate Diaz. We wait to find out which one of her friends just got fucking murdered, and we wait to find out which legacy character is about to be the most emotionally distraught as a result of that decision. And we're just waiting and waiting, and then what does Xbox do? They go, here's Gears of War E-Day, a game that takes place before the first Gears of War game. It's like, stop doing this. We know you're obnoxious, loud fans on the internet. have been bitching about how Gears of War isn't as good as it was on the 360, how Halo wasn't as good as it was on the 360. We know you just want to get your games on fucking PlayStation because that's where all the money is. But to all of us real Xbox fans who have been here through thick and thin, who stuck through in the Xbox One generation, who played Gears 4 and 5, who played Halo 5, who loved these games, who are excited for the future of these games, I'm like, bro, what the fuck, man? Give me the follow-up. Give me the payoff. Why does it take you this goddamn long? I know games take way too long to make now, but like, fuck, man. We went from Halo 2 to Halo 3 in 3 years. It's been 10 years since Halo 5, and I'm still just trying to figure out what the fuck happened to Cortana, what the fuck happened to Aatrox, why the fuck the weapon was made, why the fuck Master Chief's armor suddenly went back in time 25 years. I want to know what the fuck happened. Where's Locke? What happened to Locke? What happened to Fireteam Osiris? Anything? No? Nothing? Okay. Fuck me, I guess. But anyway, here's Halo Combat Evolved remade in the most boring, uninspired engine that just makes it easy to develop for, budget-friendly, and cost-effective for Xbox. Here you go, PlayStation players. You held out long enough for Xbox to fuck up so badly that they had no choice but to put their biggest game on your platform. I can't even act like I'm surprised. Like, watching Halo finally come to PlayStation was not even like a, oh my god, that's crazy moment. It was like a, yeah, I know. Anyway, back to work. Type. You know, it's like, I don't know, Xbox. Like, they came into this generation with all the right things, with all the right messaging, with the right hardware, with all the right momentum, with all the positive energy and the goodwill. And it's just like, here we are 5 years into this generation. I'm like, god damn, dude, it sucks to be an Xbox player. I can't wait to be done recording this podcast so I can go back to playing Battlefield 6 on my PC because I'm not, I'm just not feeling the love right now as an Xbox fan. And not to be like a total Debbie Downer. Like, listen, I love Halo. I'll always love Halo. I'm excited that we're just getting something with Halo next year, so that's cool. But like, I know that it could be better than this, and I know we're not getting what we deserve, and that's just really disappointing. But to those who are excited about Halo Combat Evolved or Campaign Evolved, which is a stupid fucking name, good for you. I'm excited for you. I feel like this is a cheap watering down of the Halo brand. It's something I'm going to play out of pure obligation, and I hope I like it a lot more than I feel like I will right now. But I just I don't have too much positive to say about it. But I guess, if I'm trying to ignore all the context and the situation surrounding this game, and I just look at the game in itself, yeah, it looks like they're doing a pretty good remake of this game. It looks really pretty. I'm sure it'll be a great time. There you go. There's your Halo on PlayStation. All right. I don't mean to be so down, but that's really how I feel about this Halo thing. So let's get into something a little more positive, though, because we got some Battlefield news that's quite exciting, quite big, and I love Battlefield right now. So Battlefield RedSec, the new Battlefield series free-to-play battle royale game, is available now. RedSec has launched alongside the start of Season 1 for Battlefield 6, and players are able to get to progress through the Battle Pass tiers by playing either Battlefield 6 or Battlefield RedSec. RedSec introduces a new map called Fort Linden. Why can't I just say things? And it tasks players with surviving the battle royale between NATO and Pax Armada squads fighting for control. RedSec launches with two main modes, Battle Royale and Gauntlet. The Battle Royale mode holds up to 100 players, but players take part in either 4-player squads or duos. Choose your class and sidearm before dropping in, then work with your squad or duo to earn and unlock additional abilities, gadgets, and call-ins, and gain more tactical advantage. The mode's description reads, scour the map and find loadout items including weapons and various rarities, and upgrade kits or complete squad missions to unlock powerful rewards. You may even find vehicle keycards that grant access to heavy and armored tanks. The Gauntlet mode, meanwhile, is described as an all-new cutthroat knockout-style fast-paced elimination experience, which pits squads against each other, killing in a series of high-octane missions, some of which may be familiar to Battlefield multiplayer veterans. 8 squads take part in a series of special missions such as Deadlock or Wreckage, with the bottom 2 teams being eliminated after each round. When only 2 teams are left, they fight each other for the championship. Decryption, extraction, territory domination, target protection, etc. Only squads, so these are the modes and more, or the games you play in it and more. Only squads with the complete package will come out on top, blah, 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 rather than letting players choose primary weapons and sidearms, customizable gadgets, and more. RedSec instead assigns a loadout based on the character's class chosen. Each class comes with a class signature, 2 gadgets, a signature weapon, and proficiency, and a signature trait. In all 4 training paths. Trait training paths. Beyond that, players are limited to a sidearm and a melee tool. RedSec also introduces portal mode, a portal mode similar to the Battlefield 6 portal mode, which gives players access to the whole Fort Linden map as well as a Gauntlet, Battle Royale, and verified modes, allowing them to create their own custom rules. Battlefield 6 players will also be able to use everything from RedSec in portal mode. Battlefield 6's first season also offers a wave of free content between maps, weapons, all that shit, and there's a battle pass, whatever. We don't have to get into that. There's a new map that's out now and another map coming out in November, so lots of new content to dig into, but let's get into this. So we can just not talk about Season 1 and just talk about this Battle Royale mode. I guess we'll do something a little different here and just talk about what I've been playing here, because what I've been playing this week is Battlefield 6. And I don't have too much to add to the multiplayer other than I will say last week I was talking about how I was getting a little tweaked, as the kids would say, but I figured out what I needed to do. I stopped forcing myself to play with LMGs as engineer, which is what used to be the engineer weapon in like Bad Company 2. And I started playing the SMG, which is what they want the engineer primary weapon to be in Battlefield 6. And ever since I switched to SMG, I'm doing way better and having way more fun. So that's cool. But last night, I was going to record the podcast a day early because I have a very busy day today with work. However, the surprise launch of RedSec made me change that so I could give this a try. So Cronky was able to step away for like 45 minutes and play some Battlefield 6 with me, and we played RedSec. So free to play, free to download. This is basically Battlefield's Call of Duty Warzone. And listen, you guys know, if you've been listening for a while, I'm not a huge Battle Royale guy. I thought Blackout was pretty good on Black Ops 4. I think I used to be really into Apex Legends. I like Apex Legends a fair amount. I'll play Fortnite with my girlfriend every once in a blue moon. I've actually been playing a little bit more lately because I got a marshmallow skin. But I don't normally play Battle Royale games. However, I hate Call of Duty Warzone. So the idea of Battlefield Battle Royale mode, and I never played the Firestorm mode they had in Battlefield 5, so this is new to me. The idea of this is it just sounds like, oh God, please don't do the Call of Duty thing where you make a Battle Royale mode and then the whole game suffers because now the whole game is designed around, supporting this Battle Royale mode, and all the multiplayer modes are just in service of Battle Royale. Please don't do that. But we played a little bit of this game last night, and I gotta say, it's definitely better than Warzone. I definitely like it better than Warzone. It's definitely a solid Battle Royale, and I like a lot of things about it. But at the end of the day, it just doesn't change the fact that Battle Royale is not my thing. It's too high stress. It's too high stakes. I don't enjoy it. However, I really like the things they're doing with this. I like that you can't bring in your own loadout. I like how it's like you load in as an engineer, you get this class. You load in as a assault, you get that class. And then they have cool things in the game where like different classes have different like special abilities. Like I always play as engineer mostly. So like we were running around in Battle Royale duos, and like there's these loot crates. It's Battle Royale mode, so you run around the map and there's loot crates everywhere. But there are certain like loot vaults, and like the only way you can unlock them is if you have an engineer in your squad, so that they can use the tank repair tool to open up that loot safe. And I thought that was a really cool touch. And then the other squads have their own special abilities and things as well, that I don't know about because I play as engineer. But I thought that was a really cool touch. I think it's really cool that you load in with the pistol and then you got to fend for yourself. I hate when Battle Royale games let you load in with loadouts. So that's really cool. I don't love the armor plate system that's a direct carry from Call of Duty. But other than that, I feel like it's a little easier to read the map and to fight. Whereas in Warzone, I feel like everything just blends in so well with this garish gray and desert sand color that like I just get shot in 2 seconds and I don't even know what hit me. So I feel like the game's a little easier to read and all that, and I do like that about it. But at the end of the day, it's a Battle Royale game. If you like Battle Royale games, I recommend you give this a try. You'll probably like it. I think it's fine. I do want to speak to the fact that I know a lot of people are mad about this, and there's like all this backlash on the internet where the game's getting like review bombed on Steam and everything, and people are so pissed that there's a Battle Royale. But it's like, guys, come on, dude. Like, everyone's like, well, they pulled the wool over us. Season 1 it's all this pay to win stuff and microtransactions and shitty skins. It's like, No, dude, it's a fucking multiplayer game in 2025. This is what you do. You get a battle pass, you get a battle royale mode. This is how first-person shooters are. I feel like they're doing it very tastefully. Season 1 is very easy to ignore if you don't want the battle pass. The new map is cool. I haven't really played much of it on multiplayer, but like you got new weapons, you got a new map, you got this battle royale mode. There's a lot of new content to dig into. And if you don't like any of the battle royale stuff, just go fucking play multiplayer. It's still a great game without battle royale. But in addition to Battle Royale, they have that other new mode, which is, it's in the Battle Royale map, but it's that elimination mode that we were just talking about, that we were just reading about. What's it called again? Gauntlet. Yeah, we played a little bit of Gauntlet. I think this mode's cool on paper. Yeah, it's like 8 squads, and then it'll be like Objective 1, plant the bomb and defend it. So it'll be like a little mini mode of Rush, and then you beat that, and then whoever scores highest progresses onward. And it's really cool, and then you go down all the way to the end, and then it's like an elimination match between the last 2 teams. This was very chaotic, very fun, very hectic. I like this a lot more. It feels like kind of like Mario Kart Knockout Tour logic applied to like a Battle Royale shooter game, and I like it a lot. I think it's really fun. It's really interesting. I definitely think I'll play a lot more of this. I'm just kind of getting my feet wet in it. But other than that, I mean, I'm not a big Battle Royale fan. I think there's a competent Battle Royale experience here in Battlefield 6. It's a great way for a lot of people who don't want to buy the game to get in and get to experience how great this game is. And I suspect it will do very, very, very well, despite a very obnoxious internet fan base looking for reasons to hate everything good that comes their way, because this is why you guys don't deserve shit. And again, not you, like, listen to the podcast, but, like, in general, it's like Battlefield 6 is such a great game. Everyone was like, I love it, I love it, I love it. And then they're like, oh, we're retooling this frag grenade throw distance. And everyone's like, this game's absolute dog shit. They retooled, they nerfed the frag grenade. I fucking hate this game's ass piece of shit game. Oh, fuck you. And it's like, what is wrong with you fucking people? Why are you so finicky and so dramatic? They added a fucking battle pass that's optional. They added a new map. And they added a battle royale mode. If you don't like this shit, don't engage with it. The game is fucking great with or without it. Calm the fuck down, you absolute man children out there. Oh my god. But yeah, Battlefield's got a battle royale. It's pretty solid. I recommend you give it a go. It's free to play, so you don't, if you don't have access to the multiplayer of the campaign, you can still access the battle royale. So there you go. Interesting. All right, let's talk a little bit more about Xbox execs and a quote that came out this week. All right, so from VGC, Xbox Studios boss has claimed that Microsoft no longer sees other consoles as its biggest competition. Matt Booty, the president of Xbox Game Content Studios, discussed the gaming division's multi-platform strategy in an interview with New York Times, published to coincide with the Xbox's historical flagship franchise, Halo, coming to PlayStation for the first time, or being announced for it. Commenting on the decision, Booty claimed consumers no longer have a strong attachment. Well, that's true, too. They don't have a strong attention. They no longer have a strong attachment to the devices they use to play as games. We are all seeking to meet, he says, quote, we're all seeking to meet people where they are. Our biggest competition isn't other consoles. We are competing more and more with everything from TikTok to movies. Let me just stop right there. If consumers no longer have a strong attachment to the device they use to play games, then why do people disproportionately buy PlayStations over Xbox when Xbox has a cheaper entry point SKU and Xbox has a more powerful, this is when the Series S and X came out, Xbox had a more powerful console than the PlayStation 5, and Xbox had better backwards compatibility, and Xbox had quick resume, and Xbox had a better consumer-friendly online ecosystem, and Xbox had Game Pass, which was a great value and a great way to get tons of games at a good price, whereas PlayStation didn't offer that. If players no longer have an attachment to a certain device, then why didn't everyone gravitate towards the Series S and the Series X? Maybe it's not that players don't have a strong attachment to the device. I would argue players have a very strong attachment to the device they use, which is why you can't fucking convince an iPhone person to get a Samsung phone, no matter how many times it bends, flips, and folds, because people don't give a shit about cool technology or superiority. They care about the brand, the ecosystem, and the thing that they align with. That's how it is. That's why Toyota can keep making boring ass cars and selling like crack, is because people are so loyal to Toyota. That is the brand that they have built for themselves. So Matt Booty, I just got to stop here and say, I understand you're just doing your job. I understand this is PR speak, but people absolutely have a strong attachment to the device they use to play games. Now, it's no there's no doubt a increasing situation occurring where a lot of younger gamers, younger generations are less attached to platforms and they're more attached to games as a platform. So, like a lot of like these Gen Z and Gen Alpha kids, they just play Fortnite. They don't give a shit if it's on an iPad or a PS4 or an Xbox Series X. They just want the thing that helps them play Fortnite with their friends. That is for sure true, but that's different from the actual gaming community. Gamers very much give a shit about the devices they use to play their games, and you can't convince me otherwise. So this is very much a way of covering up the fact that Xbox failed catastrophically to recapture a market that they fucking squandered, and now they're saying, well, we're competing with TikTok. Yes, asshole. I'm so tired of this talking point that you keep seeing in the entertainment industry, where it's like, oh, well, we're competing for attention. We're not competing with PlayStation. Well, it's like people watch Netflix now, and people go for walks, and people wipe their dogs' assholes, and it's just we're competing for that time when we ask someone to play a video game. It's like, yeah, no shit. That's always been the case, and I understand people are more attention deficit than they've ever been, and I understand there's more things vying for everyone's attention and time than ever before, and I understand accessibility of entertainment and mind-numbing brain rot is more accessible than ever before. It's just hard to avoid this stuff, but that doesn't take away the fact that people do have devices they prefer. People do seek out the traditional console experience, and it's told and exemplified through the fact that PlayStation is fucking killing it generation after generation. So clearly there's someone out there that wants to align with that brand and interface with it on a very, very heavy basis. So anyway, in the same interview, Booty briefly commented on the 9,000 company layoffs earlier this year, which saw the cancellation of numerous games and closures of studios like The Initiative. Booty says, layoffs are difficult. They're part of managing our business. Xbox's multi-platform shift comes as Xbox continues to evolve its business in the wake of lower than expected console sales. So anyway, Satya Nadella echoed these comments in that the company views its competition not as other gaming platforms, but as short-form video like TikTok. So speaking to TBPN during a live stream on Tuesday, transcribed by VGC, don't know what that is, Nadella says that when he was asked about the outlook on gaming in a month where Xbox announced Halo for PlayStation, he said he used the segment to talk up Microsoft's gaming and Windows business, which he noted was the biggest, and alluded to bringing its next console closer to Windows. The next Xbox, of course, we all know will be some kind of PC hybrid system. He says, remember, the biggest gaming business is the Windows business, Nadella said. To us, gaming on Windows and, of course, Steam has built a massive marketplace on top of it and done a very successful job. So to us, the way we are thinking about gaming, first of all, we're now the largest publisher after acquiring Activision. So therefore, we want to be a fantastic publisher, similar in approach to what we did with Office. We're going to be everywhere on every platform. So we want to make sure that whether it's consoles, whether it's PC or mobile, whether it's cloud gaming or TV, we just want to make sure that that the game is enjoyable for gamers everywhere. The CEO went on to discuss Microsoft's plans for its next Xbox console, which he suggests Microsoft wants to bring closer to the PC business. According to the reports, the next gen will be some kind of hybrid PC system we talked about. But he also told them, we want to innovate, work on the system side of the console and the PC. It's kind of funny that people think about the console and the PC as two different things. We built the console because we wanted to build a better PC, which could perform for gaming. And also, I kind of want to revisit some of the conventional wisdom. But at the end of the day, consoles have an experience that is unparalleled. It delivers performance that is unparalleled. It pushes, and I think, the system forward. So I'm really looking forward to the next console, the next PC gaming. Finally, Nadella echoed comments from Matt Booty last week, which talked about how they're more in competition with TikTok and movies than PlayStation. He says, most importantly, the game's business model has to be where we have to invent maybe some of the interactive media as well, because after all, gaming competition is not other gaming. Gaming competition is short form video. And so if the industry doesn't continue to innovate, both how we produce and what we produce, how we think and distribute, the economic model, right? The best way to innovate is to have good margins, because that's the way that you can fund. Okay, so first of all, this whole we're competing against TikTok thing is clearly a PR trained response for Microsoft execs to say when asked about this question. So that is why these two execs said basically the same thing there. And then Nadella is also just being the most corporate, boring-ass jargon-based, giving the most jargon-based responses to this shit that are so obnoxious. He's like, what's the best way to build a business model for gaming? A model that brings revenue in so you can fund future projects. It's like, no shit, asshole. So they're like, oh, that's why we're putting our games on PlayStation, is to bring in more money. Well, if you made a better console and a more compelling ecosystem that drew people in, maybe you could make money off of people buying games on your platform from the Xbox store and make money the traditional way by having a large install base. But I don't know. Maybe I'm just a fucking idiot. Anyway, I love how he just basically, like, they're like, oh, what do you think about, like, compete with PlayStation, and now you're just putting your games on PlayStation? He's like, well, Windows is software, and everyone loves thinking about Windows when they think about, everyone loves thinking about Microsoft Office and Windows when they think about video games. So, we want to basically take video games and make it like Microsoft Office. We want spell check and all that shit to be on there. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, TikTok is very much taking up all the time in the world. It's like, dude, you fucking suck, man. This is such a bullshit excuse. Listen, of course everything is competing for time. This Sunday, I wanted to play Battlefield 6 all day, but I only played Battlefield 6 for a couple hours. Why? Because I did some chores around the house like a fucking adult. And then I drove to Tampa and went to a hockey game. So I didn't spend the whole day playing Battlefield 6 because eventually being an adult and having personal responsibilities took precedent over video game time. Going to a fucking hockey game with a friend took precedent over playing video games. There were a lot of things competing for my attention in my very limited free time this past Sunday. So would Microsoft say that doing the dishes is big competition for Xbox, that the Tampa Bay Lightning are big competition for Xbox? Well, sure, motherfucker, they always have been. Both of those things have been around longer than Xbox. But don't get cute and coy and be like, oh, well, we're competing with TikTok because young people just want to watch TikTok. It's like, no, PlayStation's about to cross 100 million PS5s sold, and Xbox Series consoles are fucking falling face flat. Xbox games are going crazy on PlayStation platforms because Xbox makes fucking good games. But maybe if they had the competent leadership and the competent studio execs who could shepherd these studios and not fire everyone and get these games out the fucking door in a reasonable time frame and give us the answers to the questions that Halo 5 asks in the final act, then maybe we could cultivate a community of people who want to buy Xbox consoles and want to buy Xbox games on Xbox consoles, and we wouldn't have to hemorrhage money on services like Game Pass, and we could just fucking buy games for Xbox the way we always did before Game Pass came onto the scene. And we could just be like PlayStation, but the Xbox version, and compete with PlayStation, like Android competes with iPhone, like Ford competes with Chevy, like Dunkin' Donuts competes with Krispy Kreme. Let's just fucking do it the old-fashioned way, because I'm old, and I don't like change, and change is scary. And right now, I'm wearing the same boxers I've been wearing for 3 months because the idea of changing my boxers is terrifying to me. I'm literally sweating bullets thinking about changing my boxers right now. If you think I'm kidding, look me dead in the eyes and tell me I'm a liar. That's right. I fucking thought so. Shut up. All right. But yeah, man, I don't know. I'm so fucking tired of that. A lot of people have said that. People at PlayStation have said that, execs at PlayStation have said the same shit. We're not competing with Nintendo. We're competing with Netflix. You know what Netflix is competing with? Fucking IBS. Because every time you gotta go to the toilet and take a shit, you can't fucking sit on your couch and watch Netflix. So that's why they put Netflix on the iPhone. Is to meet the player where they're at. So I guess in a way that's what Xbox is doing. They're taking the Netflix approach and they're saying, well, we got to put Xbox on iPhones so that IBS people can play fucking Xbox on the toilet. Clearly, that's what we need to do. And where has that brought us to? Xbox hardware is all but dead. The Xbox Ally X is a fucking Asus Windows device with the Xbox app installed, and Halo is in Unreal Engine on PlayStation now. Congratulations. You killed Xbox. Anyway, I'm going to take another sip of this Coke Zero I got from Chick-fil-A. Dude, funny story at Chick-fil-A, except not funny. I feel really bad about it. So I picked my girlfriend up from the airport after work today. And on the way home, I'm like, I don't have time to cook. I got to do the podcast. And she's like, that's fine. We can just hit the drive-thru. I'm like, okay, cool. Chick-fil-A's right over here. You like Chick-fil-A? Let's go Chick-fil-A. So we pull in Chick-fil-A, and because it's Florida and there's never fucking parking space available because the entire universe is always in Florida doing all the things all the time, we're circling around the parking lot looking for a parking space. And then I stop because I find one. And I'm like, oh, shit. I just kind of halfway past the parking space. Here, let me back up a couple feet so I can pull into this parking space. So I pull into reverse, and I see on my backup camera, there's another truck behind me. Okay, cool. I have like maybe 2 cars worth of space between me and this truck behind me. So I back up like maybe half a car's length so I can pull into this parking space. I just kind of passed a little bit of a dick move. I'm not trying to be an asshole. I fucking missed the spot. I'm trying to pull in. I'm sorry. Please be patient with me for a second. So I'm backing up very slowly. I'm inching up, making sure to leave plenty of room between me and the truck behind me. I'm going very slowly as not to scare him. And then I shift back into drive to turn into the parking space, and I just hear boom behind me. I hear boom. And I turn around. The fucking truck behind me got scared that I inched backwards with a bunch of space, and he just shifted into reverse and hauled ass straight back into the front of a car behind him. And I was just like, what the fuck? I gotta be honest, I kind of froze. I was like, I don't know what to do here. I look in my rearview mirror, and the guy immediately hops out of his truck, looks at me, throws his hands up, is like, what the fuck? I was like, all right, I'm not dealing with this Florida shit. I know all these motherfuckers got guns, and they're real proud about their political opinions. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I don't need to fight with Joe Rogan's #1 fan. So I just shift into drive, and I just pull away. And I felt like a dick, because it's like, I didn't cause the accident. I indirectly caused the accident. He caused the accident. It's an accident between him and the car behind him. I didn't have any collision or contact with either of these cars. It's not really my fault because I tried my very best to be like, hey, sorry, I'm backing up a little tiny bit. I'm just going to pull into this space right here that I'm like parallel with. And then the dude like overreacted and did the Florida thing and just like fucking drove backwards at 175 miles an hour into the fucking Corolla behind him. So I felt like shit about it because I'm like, man, I feel like, like if I didn't come here today, this wouldn't have happened. If I just said, fuck, I'm a little bit past the parking space, let me take another lap around the lot, this wouldn't have happened. I felt bad about it. I felt like the bad guy, but I'm like, what do I do? First of all, this guy's hot. I don't want to hop out of the car and talk to him. I'm not involved in this accident technically. Like, I don't know what to do. So you guys tell me if I'm an asshole here, but I just pulled around and left. I'm like, I don't know what to fucking do, man. I just left. So that happened today, and I keep replaying that in my head. I'm like, I feel like shit about that guy's day was ruined, and the guy behind him's day was ruined, and I guess I indirectly caused it, but I just feel like a piece of shit for it. So I do have to own up to that. I guess that's what I'm doing here is confessing. But what were we talking about? Oh, that's right, Xbox. All right. So, God, we got another Xbox executive comment to talk about. So this time it's Sarah Bond. We heard from Satya Nadella being a fucking out-of-touch old man who fucking gives endowment presents to Donald Trump because he's a fucking cuck, and he cares more about his corporation and funding the military than he cares about efficacy or anything meaningful in the world of video games. We heard from Matt Booty, which is always fun because his last name's Booty. And now we're going to hear from Sarah Bond, who says, from VGC, it reads, the Xbox president, Sarah Bond, has reiterated their multiplayer focus by saying the idea of exclusives has become antiquated. Maybe for you, girl, not for everyone else. In an interview with Mashable, Bond was asked why blockbuster exclusives fit into the company's plans, given the growth number of Xbox game studios seeing releases on other platforms. Bond explained, in Xbox's view, the idea of games being exclusive to a single platform has become outdated. Players now expect games to be available on multiple devices. Quote, we're really seeing people evolve in a way that is past that. Like the biggest games in the world are available everywhere, like Call of Duty, Minecraft, and Fortnite, and Roblox. That's actually really driving the community in gaming. That's where the people are gathering. That's where they have the experiences. And the idea of locking it to one store or one device is antiquated for most people. You want to be able to play with your friends anywhere, regardless of where they're on and what they're really leaning into with the experience, because you want to just open up another way for players to play, as does cloud, as PC does, as console does. We all have our own that we all own and we all have in our own living room. Okay, so here's the thing. If your focus is to become a third-party publisher, yes, you're 100% right. And this has always been true for Activision and EA and Bethesda and Ubisoft and all these other third-party publishers. But if you're trying to be have a closed ecosystem in a home console market and all the rest, then this is actually a horrible idea because Nintendo just released a shitty, broken Pokemon game with horrible visuals that's getting bad reviews and a lot of negative press. And that game sold like 5.5, 6 million units in a fucking week. Okay? PlayStation just released an exclusive sequel to Ghost of Tsushima only on PlayStation 5, and that game just sold like 3 million units in a week. So what the fuck are you talking about? That exclusives are antiquated. Yeah, if you're comparing Ghost of Tsushima or Ghost of Yotei to Minecraft or Fortnite, fuck yeah, of course. One's small potatoes to the other. But these are different things. PlayStation and Nintendo are trying to play the traditional game of having great games that draw you to their platform, so you buy their console. So you buy games on their platform, so they get 30% rips off all the games you buy that are third party. Plus they get 100% of the proceeds of all the games that you buy that they develop. Plus they make money off selling you the console. Plus they make money off selling you a subscription that you pay to use their console. Plus they make money off all the accessories you buy to use their console. Plus they get all the engagement and telemetry from you playing all your games on their platform. That's the traditional way of doing this. That's what Nintendo and PlayStation are doing, and they're both fucking killing at it right now. So what do you mean that exclusive games are antiquated? No, they're fucking not. But if you want to be a third-party publisher, which you clearly do, and you want to murder your fucking hardware business, which you clearly want to do, then yeah, I guess exclusive games are antiquated. Of course you make more money by putting the game on all the platforms. But the business model of PlayStation isn't to make all the money possible by putting their games on Xbox. It's to make Xbox people jealous that they don't have those games, so they go out and buy a PlayStation and subscribe to PlayStation Plus and buy a second DualSense controller so that they can make money in all those ways in their ecosystem. So don't play this game. Again, it's the PR speak, man. It's okay that Xbox is dying and evolving in a different way, and maybe it'll work out, maybe it won't, and things are just changing, and it's just the world we live in. That's fine. But don't lie to us. Don't give us all this PR slop to explain why you guys failed at your jobs and why, it's just like, dude, you saying that console exclusives are antiquated in the same week that Pokemon ABC just fucking sold 1 trillion copies and has PS2 graphics and nothing going for it. It's like, come on, dude. Clearly console exclusives matter. You make a game in the right series for the right platform for the right audience that is what they want and speaks to them. It's like, you're going to fucking print money. Don't give me that shit. You tell me if you made a really good Halo game exclusive on Xbox, it wouldn't move consoles? Yeah, it'd sell better if it was on PlayStation, but you might sustain and feed the Xbox ecosystem by making a good exclusive game. Do you ever forget that you guys once did that? All right. Fuck you, PR. It's like, I'm not, to be clear, I'm not, no disrespect to Sarah Bond. She is a person doing her job. I am also a person who has a job, and sometimes I'm just the guy doing my job. I get it. No disrespect to her. But, like, I can look through this as clear as day because it's just a paper-thin PR bullshit excuse that rings hollow. And she's not stupid. I'm sure she's aware that this is a dumb fucking comment to make when the other big story in the news is Pokemon selling like crack even though the game sucks. There you go, Nintendo Switch. Whatever. So, I don't know. And I say as someone who plays my Nintendo Switch almost daily now, every night before bed, it's become my nighttime routine is to either read a comic book or play a little bit of Nintendo Switch. I love that thing. I love the Switch 2. I can't wait to buy more games that are exclusive for the Switch 2 and play them on my Switch 2 and continue to subscribe to Nintendo Switch Online and enjoy that closed ecosystem. Because I guess now that's kind of the only closed ecosystem I'm even a part of, because my other platform of choice is Xbox, and Xbox is just a place where you go to slap longtime fans across the fucking face for not being on PlayStation. So that's cool. Anyway, Microsoft Gaming CEO Phil Spencer has assured that Forza Motorsports isn't going away as a series, but notes that there won't be any new entries anytime soon. In an interview with Famitsu, Spencer was asked if Forza Motorsport had come to an end, which he replied that that's not the case, but he stressed that Forza wasn't quite ready for a return yet. He acknowledged that around half of its studio at Turn 10 had been laid off this year, with sweeping cuts made to Microsoft in July. He explained that while the series is still active, development is going at a slower pace while Xbox pays more attention to other games nearing completion. He says, quote, regarding Forza Motorsport, sometimes we need to shift focus to games that need to ship sooner. We understand that the reaction may that may had when we scaled back Turn 10 Studios. We have many games that we want to support with care, and sometimes we give development teams more time to avoid putting them under constant strain rather. Our current structure with multiple studios allows this flexibility. Xbox Game Studios encompasses over 20 studios, each with multiple games in development and each requiring different levels of support. Some projects require a short-term focus, while others demand medium to long-term perspectives. We genuinely want the games we publish to succeed. Xbox Game Studios has numerous titles in development, so please stay tuned for what's coming. The way I read this is, all right, we need Playground Games to focus on Fable, so we put a lot of the Turn 10 guys on with the B team at Playground to focus on Forza Horizon 6, and then because of all that, Forza Motorsport, which is the weaker selling of the two, is on the back burner for now, but it will come back one day. Just don't ask for it anytime too soon. And that's exactly how I read that, and I don't really know what else there is to say about this other than just that. But it is still completely disappointing because Forza Motorsport was one of their darling projects, and now it's just been kind of sidelined, and that's a bummer. Speaking of bummer, because I hardly know her, this isn't a bummer. This is good news. Bethesda has announced that Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition is coming to console and PC, and also Nintendo Switch 2. The Anniversary Edition of the 10-year-old RPG, I can't believe it's 10 years old, will add all 6 additional add-ons included, in addition to over 150 pieces of Creation Club game mods, Bethesda announced last week. Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition also introduces new in-game creation menu, according to Bethesda, which will make it easier to discover and download content from past fan creators. Anniversary Edition will also be available digitally on Xbox One, Series consoles, PC, PS4 and 5, and Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo Switch 2's version will come out next year, while all other platforms will get the game imminently on November 10th, so just a short wait here. So this will be a great way to celebrate as we anticipate Fallout Season 2 on Amazon, which comes out in December. So clearly they're trying to have that 1-2 marketing beat of here's your re-release of this popular Fallout game, and here's Season 2 of your game. So that is very clearly what they're doing there, kind of like how Sony keeps re-releasing Last of Us games every time a new season of Last of Us comes out. Very, very smart. It's not for all of us who played Fallout a million times, but hey, maybe you're a Nintendo fan and you want to play it again, or maybe you never played these games. This is a great opportunity for those people to get involved. I'm sure a lot of fans of Fallout have been born out of interest from that TV show, so that's clearly why they're doing things like that. So cool that that's happening. Can't say I really care. Although I'd be interested to try Fallout on Switch 2. I'm just not going to buy it there. I'll just play it on my Logitech G Cloud, honestly. All right. Last story of the week, guys. Amazon is making significant cuts to its video games business and moving away from its MMO development, they've announced. The message to staff reviewed by Bloomberg said that the company would eliminate more than 14,000 corporate jobs, many of which affect its game development and publishing business. Specifically, the San Diego Irvine Development Studio, which are responsible for New World, which has been officially shut down on development. The Untitled Lord of the Rings game, and they've had significant reductions, according to Steve Boom, VP of Audio, Twitch, and Games. While we're proud of the success of the first-party AAA game development and publishing, we have made the difficult decision to halt significant amount of time to our first-party AAA game development work, specifically around MMOs with Amazon Game Studios. This includes making significant role reductions in our studios in Irvine and San Diego, as well as central publishing team. So yeah, and then today the news came out that New World's basically just fucking canceled. So this is super sad. I just want to give another shout-out, another big developer initiative and publisher that's just biting a lot of dust here with more layoffs. So as always, what a great country. So glad that the tariffs are working and that the prices of everything are going down. And when I go to the grocery store, my wallet hurts less and everyone's got plenty of jobs and just things are going really, really well. And we did it. We made it great. I'm glad the police are in all these, I'm glad the military is being launched into all these cities and that we're deporting a bunch of innocent people and that our prices are going up and that every country fucking hates us, that, we have an actual sex offender, pedophile, and criminal in the White House, but we literally just pretend like it's not happening and just constantly allowed us to get distracted by these files that we deserve and are entitled to access to because, we have no control over anything, and that's pretty fucking cool. So love that. So enjoy your layoffs, developers at Amazon Games. I'm sure part of your severance package will include maybe 6 months of Amazon Prime. So you can get free shipping on household goods, as well as enjoy the latest season of Fallout, the TV show. So something to keep you distracted and busy and entertained while you look for your next job. Aren't you so lucky to live in this great free country? All right, you guys, that's going to do it for all of our news this week. And we already talked about what I've been playing. It's just Battlefield. Really not a whole lot to say. I will say, though, I do got to still tell you about what it is I've been eating, because this is a really weird one. I'll keep it brief, but like, I don't know what's going on here, man. Every couple of years, it's like there's a new thing where I'll just suddenly crave a food I historically haven't cared for, and then I just love it. The most recent example was cilantro. I've always tolerated cilantro, but I've never liked cilantro. Like, if cilantro is in something I'm eating, I'll eat it. I don't like it, but I'll eat it. But like, if I'm cooking, I will always omit cilantro because I don't like it. And then like about a year ago or so, I just had a random moment where I was like, no, I actually like cilantro, and now I'll eat cilantro on anything, and now I'll add cilantro to my cooking, and I'll add extra cilantro. I love it. I love it. It's just weird. It just happened once. I'll never forget when I was a kid, and then one day a light bulb went off in my head, and then I suddenly started liking onion. I didn't like onion when I was a little kid, and then at some point when I was like, I don't know, 10 or something, I was like, yeah, I think I like onion now, and I've just loved onions ever since. Well, I just had one of those moments this week, and it was with cookies and cream milkshakes. I've never been a fan of cookies and cream flavor. Not the candy bars, not the milkshakes, nothing. Like an Oreo cookie, I think they're boring. I don't like Oreos. I don't care for them. I don't dislike them. If I eat one, I'll be like, yeah, that's good. It's fine. But it's like, I'll never buy a pack of Oreos. I'll never pick the Oreo flavor for anything. But the other day, I was at Potbelly getting my sandwich, and I was like, I'm craving a milkshake. I maybe eat 1 or 2 milkshakes a year. I almost never have milkshakes. I was like, let's get a milkshake. What do they got? And it's like, oh, their special fall flavor is a churro milkshake. I'm like, that sounds good, but I'm not in the mood for that. And then what else they got? I'm like, it's just the basic like strawberry chocolate, vanilla. Fuck it, let's just go with cookies and cream. I don't know why, it sounds vaguely interesting this time. Whatever. And then I got that cookies and cream milkshake from Potbelly, and I was like, damn, that was like one of the best milkshakes I've ever had. It was just one of those things like perfect storm. Like, the mood was right, the situation was just so. Everything was perfect. It was an amazing milkshake. So a few days later, I'm like, fuck, do I want another milkshake? So I'm driving home, and I pass a Steak and Shake, and I'm like, I'm going to pull through the Steak and Shake and just grab a cookies and cream milkshake. And I did. I got a second one. And I got to say, the Steak and Shake cookies and cream milkshake, very good, because Steak and shakes are awesome. But I actually liked the one from Potbelly a little bit better. So there was that. And then last night, so this is like 3 milkshakes in a 7 or 8 day period. This is bad. Last night, I stopped by Culver's, the hamburger place near my house, and I got a cookies and cream milkshake. And this one was actually the worst of the 3 I had. Now, let me clarify. Still very good. I love Culver's. Culver's is great. But it was the worst. It just felt like a vanilla ice cream with Oreo crumbles in it. And the crumbles were too big, and they kept getting stuck in the straw. Whereas, like, I don't know, the one from, like, Potbelly tasted like this concoction of, like, cookies and cream milk mixed with vanilla ice cream or something with fine shards of cookies in it. It was very good. But I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I went from I don't care about cookies and cream to I can't get enough of it. I'm obsessed with it. I want it every fucking day now. So that's my new thing is I love cookies and cream milkshakes. I try not to eat ice cream. I definitely try not to have milkshakes. But right now, I'm just on a kick where I really want them, and I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I'm pregnant and this is just a pregnancy craving. That's very possibly a thing that's happening, but I just need to tell you guys about it. Just like how I indirectly caused that accident today at the Chick-fil-A parking lot, I also am craving a cookies and cream milkshake at all times currently. So that's it for what I've been eating. We've already talked about what I've been playing. Let's just go ahead and round out the podcast with the final best comments section, the good section, the comments. YouTube.com/Xbox on podcast. Leave a comment. We'll talk about it on the show. That's it. And please leave reviews for the show. I really need your attention, and I need your support. All right, let's get into it. No particular order. I just copied and pasted them, so it's probably newest comments to oldest comments, but let's get in. Sam Frito says, congrats, Cronky. Welcome to gaming as a sub-hobby. Next to sleeping and, most importantly, caring for the baby. It will improve as you go and grow with confidence, or your confidence will grow. This child will become the boss for a while. But soon they will become Uncle Jesse and your Padawan. Okay. Fuck, I knew I'd screw this message of his assertion with a Star Wars reference. Be as great as the task requires, but leave some room for you. I had my first child. That's good advice. I had my first child as Metroid Prime came out, and I still had my life to beat the game and love that child, now adult. Wow, that makes me feel... I appreciate the comment. It makes me feel young. Usually things make me feel old. That made me feel young. But now also old because Metroid Prime came out when I was like, I don't know, like 8. And now that game is old. I can't wait for Metroid Prime 4 this year, by the way. Another thing, it's like I want to play Luigi's Mansion because it just came to Switch Online. I want to play Luigi's Mansion 3 because I still haven't played that. I want to play... There's a lot of games on Switch I want to play. I want to play Pikmin 4. I have it downloaded. I want to get to it. I want to play Spider-Man 2 on PC. I have that downloaded. I want to play Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3. There's a couple Switch 1 games I want to catch up on for my backlog. I'm very excited for Metroid Prime 4. I want to play Keeper. I want to play Outer Worlds 2. I want to play Ninja Gaiden 4. But I'm just having a good time with Battlefield 6, and I can't wait for Black Ops 7. It's a good time to play video games. Anyway, you're talking about kids. This is good advice. I know there's a lot of dads out there that listen to the podcast. So, man, I don't know how you guys do it. I have so little free time, and I feel so stressed and stretched thin just because I'm very invested in my career right now, and I do a lot of commuting, and it just takes a lot of time and energy from me. I leave the house I leave my house at 5:45 every morning to get to work, and I come home from work around 6:30, sometimes 7 o'clock. So I'm kind of a workaholic these days, but I cannot imagine what my life would be like if on top of all that, I had a child to come home to and take care of. It is insane. So mad respect and props to all you guys that do it. You work, you find time for your video games, but you have kids, you have a wife or a husband or whatever you come home to, and you got all that stuff to juggle. It is something I will probably never understand because it's not the life I have, but I really respect the fuck out of it. So congrats to all you guys. That's awesome. I'm playing life on easy mode. I'm playing life on story mode, man. I knocked that shit all the way down. No kids, 2 cats, and a cookies and cream craving. That's what I got to deal with. And you guys are out here fucking raising the next generation of, I don't know, bank tellers and fucking mariachi performers and tax advisors. I don't know, whatever the fuck you guys are raising right now. But Sam Frito, thank you as always for writing in. I think you're one of the guys that writes in that I most want to hold hands with sometime, maybe. Mr. Malg writes in, says, it seems like for Xbox, everything is going to get worse before it gets better. I like the idea of a hybrid PC console, but Microsoft has a lot of work to do with the OS. While the full Xbox screen experience does free up resources for the Xbox Ally handset, or handheld, they still perform better when people install Linux on the handhelds, and it's running the game through a translation error. See, this is the thing is, above all else, the Xbox Ally, the Xbox Next Generation, whatever the fuck they do, it has to look and feel and operate like a video game console first, and then it has to just have a very seamless, accessible way to get onto Steam and whatever else. In addition to that, I don't need the Windows fucking ecosystem. I don't need to be able to get onto OneNote and Excel for my Xbox. I don't need to be able to click around and connect a mouse device. I don't need shaders and driver updates and all this shit. And if I have to deal with this platform that's more PC with an Xbox skin than it is Xbox with PC features, then it's going to be a failure. It's like the number one thing this device cannot fuck up is that it needs to be, it needs to make it just a very easy, accessible plug-and-play experience for the majority of consumers. And I just worry that based on the Xbox Ally devices, that they're not there yet. That they're clearly not ready to ship, like their next actual mainline console. If this is what their software output looks like. But hopefully they're doing a lot and they're learning a lot from this so that when that Xbox device does come out, it doesn't feel like a Windows PC that has an Xbox client on it, but rather an Xbox that can do things that until now only a PC could do, which is what they need to get to. Decoy Doctopus writes in, thank you, Mr. Maug. I love it when you write in. Decoy Doctopus writes in and says, the sole reason I didn't want the Seattle Mariners in the World Series is their god-awful Nintendo Switch 2 patch. It doesn't blend into their jerseys at all. Just a big red square. I will admit, that is a very blatant advertisement. It's one of the most blatant advertisements because it is just a big old contrasting Nintendo Switch logo. But I kind of dig it. Maybe that's just because I think the Nintendo Switch is cool. So watching baseball and seeing the Nintendo logo on someone's uniform, I think is just kind of cool. I'd be totally down if the Tampa Bay Rays had an Xbox logo on their shirts or something like that. That'd be pretty fucking cool. So to me, I kind of dig it, and I'm super salty because I wanted the Mariners to win more than anything. But well, listen, we live in the world you wanted, Decoy Octopus. Enjoy your fucking Dodgers versus Blue Jays. I don't give a shit about any of this. I guess I want the Blue Jays to win just because it's been a long time for them. But fuck Toronto and fuck LA. So Decoy Octopus, I hope you're happy. All because you hate the Switch 2 logo. Wow. All right, the Dead Captain James is going to round us out with a couple comments here. I don't really know what order. We should probably start with this one. He says, I picked up the Xbox Ally. I was fortunate enough to have the spare cash in this crappy economy. Honestly, it's amazing. As a mainly PC gamer, it's basically everything I wanted. That being said, the next Xbox needs to have it all. The same features as the Ally, but it should have a true Xbox OS and not the Game Pass PC app. Exactly right. That's what I'm talking about. Dead Captain James is hitting it on the nail on the heads. Sam Frieda replied and says, I like the Xbox Ally, Z as the girls call him. So far, the only thing it won't play is Avowed, but it might be a setting that I'm overlooking. Well, that's exactly what I'm talking about, man. Avowed is one of Xbox's hottest games for 2025. How the fuck did your brand new Xbox device not play one of this year's biggest Xbox developed and published games? That's unacceptable, man. And it shouldn't be an oversight on your end. You shouldn't be the one responsible for why the settings aren't right to play Avowed. A video game console is meant to be booted up, download Avowed, play Avowed. And Dead Captain James is around the money here. It should be an Xbox OS, not a Game Pass PC app over Windows 11. They got to fix this stuff, man. I'm telling you. It's not just because I prefer it. Obviously, selfishly, I want that. But it's because you can't expect a casual to pick up an Xbox device and then be like, ooh, let me update my drivers and install my shaders. Ooh, the reason why this latest and greatest game isn't optimized on my Xbox Series J is because I simply haven't modified my preferences. It's like you can't have that. Although I guess they're not really gunning for regular users because we're talking about devices that are rumored to be well over $1,000. So this is obviously an enthusiast and a diehard device, but still, man, it's like, come on, don't sacrifice the simplicity and the ease of what makes Xbox so great just so you can get fucking Steam running on an Xbox and further kill your ecosystem. Like, come on, man, you gotta. It's a cool idea. It's cool that they're doing it. I'm excited to see it. I don't know how the fuck it's ever gonna work or why they think it makes sense to relinquish all their potential sales by letting people access Steam on their console. But I do think it sounds like a cool device, and I'm excited to use one day. But like, come on, guys, you got it. You gotta, man. You gotta kill a little bit. You gotta care a little bit more. All right. Kevin James also writes in on Battlefield. He says, there's a mindset that you have to enjoy a Battlefield game. Kills basically mean nothing. It's all about the objective. Once you change your mindset and you're just a faceless cog in the war machine, you will find the enjoyment. I usually make it in the top 10 of my team and almost always have less than 15 kills, but I capped out points, reviving tons of people and healed lots of vehicles. Winning the conquest match is way more satisfying than getting 25 plus kills. I agree completely, Dead Captain James, and I do try to play that way. It's just, you want to get a decent amount of kills, though. Like, I'm talking about, like, when I'm sucking dick, I'm getting, like, 3, 5, 6 kills in a match. Not, like, 10, 15. And that's what I'm talking about, where it's like, I feel like shit. But I agree with you completely. I love playing Engineer. I love blowing up tanks. I love repairing tanks. I love running around and just working with the team. I'm constantly pissed off that medics in this game are not healing me, or healing anyone for that matter. I love seeing like the memes of like all the Battlefield veterans getting pissed off because they're like, oh, these Call of Duty players are invading our game, because everyone's trying to play that COD where they're just focused on KDR and they're like running, gunning and supermanning the matches when they should be playing together and healing and supplying ammo drops and defeating tanks and utilizing vehicles and working with their squads. But I very, very sage advice. These games attract a similar audience, but these games are not the same. Battlefield is based on teamwork and player contribution. Call of Duty is all about like one man for all the glory. Get as many kills as you can and die as few times as possible. But I appreciate the write-in. Very good advice, no doubt. I guess our final comment also comes from Dead Captain James, and it's kind of a very unrelated, non sequitur, politically aligned, whatever. So if you want to tap out because you don't like this stuff, feel free to go ahead. But I do appreciate you writing in and saying this, Dead Captain James, because every time I say something political, I get a little weary about it. Not because I'm like afraid to speak my mind, or someone's going to find my employer or tell them that I think that homeless people deserve housing, or that the American people deserve health care. But it's that I don't want to piss people off just for the sake of pissing people off. That's not the point of this podcast. But what frustrates me is that it's like, I know my political ideology and my social stances are very rational and very pro what's in the best interest of people. Like I don't think like we need to kill people, and that, there are some winners and some losers in this world. Like it's not like I don't think that. I'm not asking for that. I'm not platforming these kinds of ideas. I just want people to live healthy, free, happy lives where they feel protected and like their government works for them and all that. It's like, when it comes to politicians, it's the only situation we have in society where we have an employee that we idolize as like as a famous person, as a celebrity, and then we kowtow to whatever they want. I mean, it makes no fucking sense. I mean, you think about like how little dignity your average American, and this is disgusting and shameful, how little dignity and respect your average American has for the fast food worker. They go, oh, you're just a little fast food worker. You just make $10 an hour flipping burgers at McDonald's. Yeah, motherfucker. That man's feeding you delicious McDonald's burgers in exchange for a mere $2. You should love that guy. You should respect that guy. However, then you vote in a fucking president who does everything in their power to govern against your best interests. They raise your cost of living. They take away your freedoms. They tell you how to live your life. They do shady shit and get rich off of things that you'd get thrown in jail for doing yourself. And then we treat them like they're fucking celebrities. Like we're walking among, like we're in the presence of a god and we must bow to them. And that's just fucking stupid, man. I understand like journalistic access is the most important thing, and not, hard-hitting journalism and getting real answers and grilling politicians. But you would think there'd be at least one fucking or at least one fucking journalist in this godforsaken universe who'd have the fucking balls to speak with one of these senators, one of these governors, one of these presidents, and be like, yo, why are you such a fucking piece of shit when you're doing this, this, and this? How do you sleep at night knowing you're doing this and it's causing, like, one person that holds someone accountable? Because at the end of the day, it's like, if I were talking to the president of the United States, I would want to treat him like he's my piece of shit employee, and I want him fucking out of here. I want you to clear out your desk and go the fuck home because you suck at your job, and I am wasting money and time by having you here. And that's the thing. It's like, these people work for us. We pay for them to govern for our country, to serve us. You have a fucking president that's selling a crypto scam coin, that's deporting American citizens, that's crushing parts of the White House and building a fucking gaudy fucking aristocratic playhouse, who is a known fucking pedophile, rapist, and sex trafficker. And we just constantly turn a blind eye and go, well, how am I going to warp this to make sense for me so I can continue to justify the actions I've done? I voted for this man. People I love have voted for this man. I've bonded with certain people over things about this person I like. I find this person to be charismatic and charming. It made perfect sense at one point for me to support this person. So how am I going to take truth and fact and things that are happening in front of my very own eyes and just lie to myself so I can continue to feel good about the things I've said and done and the ways I felt in the past? And like, that's the kind of society we live in. It's like, I gotta be honest, I haven't even read the comment. I'm sorry, Dead Captain James. It drives me nuts, man, because it's like, we can't even have these conversations because it's like, listen, I love Trump supporters. My dad's a fucking crazy motherfucking Trump supporter. I have friends who are Republicans and Trump supporters. People who have voted not once, not twice, but 3 times for this piece of shit motherfucker. I love many people who have voted this way. I don't immediately think you're an evil piece of shit if you ever support this guy. And I don't think because I hate this guy that I like the other guy, because the fucking Democrats suck ass too. They're spineless little fucking cowards that serve corporations and fuck us all over. Joe Biden didn't suck because the Democrats suck. Joe Biden sucks because all the fucking politicians suck, and they're all bought, and the corporations own everything. And it's, it's the fucking age-old, tired quote from George Carlin. It's a big club, and you're not in it, or something like that, right? That's what he says. It's just, it breaks my heart, because we spend so much time, like, bitching and moaning about, like, Charlie Kirk, the president, this. It's like, dude, fuck off, man. Like, people can't afford healthcare. People can't afford housing. People can't afford groceries. We're sticking our nose in places that doesn't belong all across the globe. We're propping up fascist regimes. Like, we should tell Israel to go fuck themselves. We should tell Russia to go fuck themselves. Like, I don't understand what we're doing, picking sides as if it's like an educated, mature, adult-like conversation to try and treat these topics like they're, like these are like these are complicated issues. They're really not. It's actually really fucking not. We print the money. The top 1% holds all the fucking money. The money's not in circulation. There's no such thing as inflation when everyone when this tiny group of people have all the fucking money and you can't have any of it. It's all bullshit. We print the money, we make the money, we determine the prices. It's all made up bullshit, man. The corporations and the government, they want you to fucking suffer. You could have an affordable house. You could have a good paying job. You could have health care for your loved ones. And when your grandmother gets cancer, she could get the treatment she needs without you going bankrupt. Like, all of these things can happen. You can have a kid without worrying about whether or not you can afford to have that kid. But your government doesn't work for you. And then when they come to town, you treat them like it's the fucking second coming of Jesus Christ. It's disgusting, man. It's so disappointing. And I'll always talk this way because it's like, I just want a better fucking, not better country for me and my fellow Americans. I want a better world for fucking people. One of the worst things that sucks about being an American is it's like, I understand what a heavy, heavy hand we have in the cultural influence on the world around us, but more importantly on the political influence we have on the world around us, how other countries are affected by the decisions we make domestically. And I feel fucking bad for all the poor little kids in the Middle East who get bombed because our country sucks. I feel bad for all the other governments that get propped up to do evil shit and power other, authoritarian leaders because of movements that were inspired and started in our country. I feel bad about these things because we are a big influence on the world stage, and we have been a very, very, very bad neighbor and a very bad influence for many years. And we should be ashamed of ourselves, not because America always sucks, because America is a great country with great potential that is constantly falling short of what it can be, what it once was, and what it should be. And that fucking sucks, man. We should be ashamed of ourselves and aspire for more. It just drives me nuts, man. But Dead Captain James, me getting off my soapbox, says, I'm so glad you don't hold back on what's happening right now. I live in deep MAGA country, and it's so frustrating seeing everyone blindly cheer for the insanity of what's happening in this country. It isn't what I served in the military for. Exactly, man. Fucking exactly. Like, man, I mean, I don't know. Well, I'll back off, but yeah, man. It just fucking sucks. And everyone is always pitted against each other. It's so disgusting. Like, for once, just stop. Stop with the rednecks versus the liberals versus the Democrats versus the fucking left versus the right, gays, blacks, all this. It's like none of that shit matters, dude. It's all so fucking tired. I'm so bored and tired of all of it. And it's just like, just get mad at your government, just get fucking angry and hold these motherfuckers accountable. You have it's like, what is one thing the overwhelming majority, 99.999% of people can agree on? We don't want pedophiles and rapists telling us what to do and how to live our lives. We want those people to rot in jail cells, right? If I said that, that wouldn't be a hot take. Most people would be like, yeah, I agree with that. Okay, so why do we allow a pedophile and a rapist to knock down a wall of the White House and build a fucking ballroom for him and his fucking pedophile friends? That's weird. And why do we allow them to go, oh, we're not going to share these Epstein files that we're clearly all a part of. Don't look, Charlie Kirk. Oh, the liberals killed Charlie Kirk. Stop. We don't fucking care. It's sad. No one should get shot in the fucking face. That's sad. Now let's focus on these fucking files. Why are you in them? And why won't you share them? It's like that. It's like that kind of shit. We're always so willing to be distracted. It's like, oh, you're deporting a lot of immigrants. And like, trans people are killing your kids. It's like, no, stop. Let's focus on the people you're deporting, right? It's just, it's so disgusting, man. And we're constantly bending over backwards and lying to ourselves to support bad actors. It's not about one individual. It's like all these people are fucking broken. We need to set some term limits. We need to get on top of these corporations. We need to make, honestly, lobbying just needs to be illegal. It's really not that complicated. I mean, corporations are not people, and they should not be allowed to give large sums of money to political candidates to influence them to govern in their best interest against you. It just shouldn't be that way. It's pretty fucking straightforward and obvious. So I don't know, man. I appreciate your perspective, Dead Captain James. I appreciate that there are other sane voices out there. And I want to be careful saying that, other sane voices. Like, I'm more than happy to shake hands and hug other people who vote in ways I disagree with and all that stuff. I think we all come from the same place in terms of where our hearts are at. You got to be a pretty sick person to want the bad things to happen, the good things to be suppressed. And so I think there's just a lot of confusion. There's a lot of misinformation. There's a lot of emotionally charged people out there. And that is what just confuses us and sets us apart from each other. But at the end of the day, man, I think there are really good people with good hearts and good intentions who are constantly shooting themselves in the foot and setting themselves and their families and their loved ones and their neighbors across the pond and their neighbors across the globe backwards because they don't know any better and they're confused and they're fed misinformation and they don't want to admit that they're wrong and they don't want to explore the opposing opinions and they don't want to get outside their bubble. And that's unfortunate, and it's having catastrophic consequences for everyone, but it's a shitty, it just sucks because it's like, I mean, I guess your voice matters and your vote matters. So I wish you'd spend a little more time trying to educate yourself and a little less time trying to fucking hit on girls on fucking Instagram so that we could do something about these fucking egg prices or whatever it is you guys pretended to care about and then stopped caring about once the egg prices didn't go down after Trump was in office for 10 fucking months. But anyway, here we are. Enjoy your eggs. Anyway, I guess that's going to do for our Xbox podcast this week. No, I appreciate you. I think that was spawned by last week when I made the comment that, I'm sorry sometimes when I get a little politically charged or whatever on the podcast, because if you're still here listening after all the times I've gone off on that stuff, it means either one, you're just super tolerant and you allow me to say my stupid shit as you fast forward to the next video game topic, or two, you probably already agree with me, so there's no reason to get heated towards you. We're on the same team here. And so I appreciate you guys. I started a podcast about Xbox because I want to make some buddies on the internet and talk about our shared love of video games, talk about why Halo 5 was an underappreciated great game, and I want my neighbors to be able to live a good, healthy life where they're free to make their own decisions. I want my female friends to have control of their bodies. I want my gay friends to know that literally nothing about them is the reason for physical violence. I want people to fucking realize that we have some serious health issues in this country of all varieties, but especially with mental health, and we need to do something about that. And then we should probably throw the majority of our politicians behind bars and make it illegal for corporations to have the power and authority they have, tax the shit out of them, fucking end homelessness because it's really cheap and easy. Get some universal health care out there so people can not go bankrupt if their arm breaks. Simple shit. And you know what I would do? Listen, if I were the dictator of this country, though, I would do one thing. I would make it absolutely mandatory for the Windows Phone to come back. I think that's bullshit that Microsoft gets to just opt out of Windows Phone. It's like, once you bring it into this world, you can't really take it out, if you're someone who's pro-life and you're against abortion, let me put it this way. Deleting Windows Phone from existence is like aborting a baby in a way. It's like Windows Phone was here, it existed, it was real. You can't just take it away. I didn't forget my first day of kindergarten with my Lumia 1020 just because you canceled the fucking phone. This is unacceptable. Bring back Windows Phone. All right, that's going to do it for this week's podcast. You guys be good. Enjoy your milkshakes. Enjoy your battle royales. Enjoy whatever fucking game you're playing. Outer World 2. I'm not going to be playing it for a little while, so if you're playing it, let me know how it is. I'd love to hear from you guys. Until next week, power your dreams. Empower your dreams.